So you want to know how to play ADVENGERS? Well, guess what? You've come to the right place. This is the instruction video on how to play the newest board game inspired by the role of identity politics and civic participation in society, with all the rules and tricks to play against your friends in order to win. So let's get started.
What you will need is the board, character cards, scenario cards, dice, and the tokens. To begin, pick a colour and place the corresponding tokens randomly on the board, with one token in each space. Each player must pick their own colour. If there are 2 to 4 players, place 3 tokens down each. If there are 5 or 6 players, place 2 tokens down instead. There are meant to be spaces that aren't yet occupied by anyone, so don't stress if you don't fill the board. Each player will be assigned a character card based on which colour they represent on the board. If a player has placed all their tokens on larger spaces, they could potentially give themselves an advantage at the start of the game, but it also makes them a huge target, so choose wisely. These character cards represent different individuals in a wide range of demographic and psychological traits, each affecting the game in some way, so pay attention to them. To decide who goes first, each player will take turns rolling one die. The player with the highest roll will go first, each turn being in a clockwise rotation. When it gets to your turn, place a token on a different territory space to your own. Simultaneously, pick up a random scenario card from the board. If you have picked an unoccupied space, roll one die and try to get higher than points stated on the scenario card to obtain the territory. Each scenario card will highlight certain traits that could either add points or remove them. That means that some characters will have a better advantage in specific events over others, so anything can happen. If you want to take a space owned by another person, that event card is no longer about getting above certain points. Now it's about getting higher than the other player. The player who accumulates the most points from the die and point system on the scenario card wins the space. Instead of rolling, players can choose to debate against the other on why they should own the space based on the scenario card. The other players judge and make a final decision. If any player ends up owning 7 spaces, everyone gets only 2 turns left before the game ends. You can team up with players to try and take spaces from the winning player or steal spaces from players with little to no spaces left. If any player loses all of their spaces at any time, they are out of the game. Once the game ends, count the amount of points you have earned for each space you own. With bigger spaces worth more than smaller spaces, the winner will be the one who has the highest amount of territory points. And that's the game. So with that, let's play ADVENGERS!